Hello everybody and welcome to my new series called First Impressions. Whenever a new game comes out, it's always exciting to see content creators get their hands on it and make a whole bunch of new videos, but it always comes at the cost of some spoilers. And that's what we're hoping to avoid with this series. These videos will always aim to give my impressions on the very first part of the game, basically just dipping my toe in and then returning to review the game at a later date when the excitement has died down. So enough rambling, let's just get on with it. It's time to look at The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom.
It still feels weird calling this game by its actual title as opposed to the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild or Breath of the Wild 2, because obviously both titles just roll off the tongue. If I'm being honest though, me being super excited for this one didn't really start until that third trailer dropped. I don't like how they marketed this game at first. It's been 6 years since Breath of the Wild, and during the wait I've really appreciated the transparency in terms of the game's development. What bothers me is when they did start showing it off, they weren't really doing a good job of making it look exciting, and I was only going to buy it out of consumer loyalty. That third trailer, however, completely changed my mind. It did a great job, but why couldn't it have come sooner? Oh well, anyway, it's here now. May as well just jump in head first. I'm going to cover my experiences so far. Don't worry, no story spoilers will be included, but of course I will be using footage from the first major area of the game. So if you're wanting to avoid even that, it might just be worth lending an ear instead of an eye. Tears of the Kingdom has a really tough act to follow. I mean, Breath of the Wild was, and still is, huge. It's an incredible experience that I have loved since its release. So when I heard it was getting a sequel, you bet I was excited. The game starts out with a more story-driven section before letting you out into the first main area, a part of the new Sky Islands. Very similarly to Breath of the Wild, you'll be guided on basic game mechanics towards an area which will prevent you from going any further. Last time it was the Great Plateau's steep cliffs, this time it's literally a bloody wall. You need 4 hearts to survive the trial of opening a door, so we need to travel around this huge island and complete the trials of the 4 shrines available. The first 3 grant you with new abilities, aka an extended tutorial. It's after completing this that you're able to leave the tutorial area and head down to Hyrule proper where the rest of the game opens up. I don't want to comment too much on what happens after the intro, as we start to see things that weren't in the trailers, but I will say, if you thought that Hyrule was big last time, the world is probably double, maybe even triple the size of it. The map may be the same at its base, but I've yet to feel like I'm retreading the previous game. Maybe I will as the game goes on, we'll have to see. And it wouldn't even be the first time for Zelda, would it? I mean, A Link to the Past and A Link Between Worlds use a very similar map, and yet those are both very unique in their own way. Though, to be fair, they are a lot shorter than these 2 games. So we will see. But I'm feeling confident. And if this first area is anything to go by, it's great to see they still know how to design an amazing world with plenty to do. This first island is so well designed. It teaches you the mechanics without holding your hand too much, and has lots to find and explore if you're curious enough. Honestly, it didn't take long for me to remember why I love this format so much. There's just something about the world design combined with Link's versatility that makes exploring an absolute joy 90% of the time in these games. In terms of the gameplay, it's identical in control and combat, so if you put time into Breath of the Wild, you should be able to jump right in. The big changes are Link's abilities. None of the abilities such as the bombs, magnesis, stasis and cryonis from last time return. At least as far as the first few hours are concerned anyway. Magnesis has basically been given a huge upgrade with the Ultra Hand. This not only can lift most things now, but you can use it to stick objects together. With all of the new objects at your disposal, you can use it for simple things like making a bridge, or maybe you can make a vehicle, a minecart powered by air, or a boat to cross large bodies of water. I can't even begin to explain how much freedom you have in completing any obstacle with all the items available to them. I can't show them all, but god damn, it's crazy. The amount of freedom they've given us is awe-inspiring. There's nothing like this within the open world genre, and it's hilarious seeing other developers online losing their shit over Nintendo pulling this off. Stasis has been replaced by Recall, an ability that lets you rewind time. This is another feature you can really get a lot of mileage out of, as you can literally rewind any object. The more I've experimented with this, the more I've realised its potential, because wow, it's truly amazing how many puzzles can be solved using this ability. It's also a great way to get back up into the sky from falling pieces of relics that can be rewound. Ascend allows you to go through ceilings and pop out on top wherever you are, as long as the ceiling is flat and you're relatively close to it. And it's super useful, what else can I say? It's already saved me so much time when wanting to leave a cave whenever I like. It's like an escape rope from Pokemon. Finally, we have the Fuse ability, allowing you to combine your weapons with objects, enemy drops, or even other weapons. Combine 2 spears together for stupidly long reach, or combine a stick with a stone to make a hammer. You can also fuse arrows with item drops for elemental properties, or to make a homing shot when using a Kisai. The combinations, once again, are endless, and if you weren't a fan of the weapon's durability in Breath of the Wild, well, this at least allows you to reinforce weak weapons with something else to stop it from breaking, and it's likely the attached object will break off before the base weapon is ruined. But yeah, the rest of the gameplay is the same. So if you weren't sold previously, It would be down to the changed abilities in new areas to win you over at this point. To bring it up again, as I know it's still a point of contention, I don't really mind my weapons breaking, especially here as it encourages experimentation more than ever before with the amount of things you can create. Shrines are back in full force and they're just as fun as last time. I love how they look too, like the portal leading into the shrine is so visually appealing. Speaking of, visually, I think the game looks phenomenal for the hardware. I've seen a lot of debate about this online, especially regarding the frames per second. Many people have been comparing it to Xbox's recently released Redfall, another game locked at 30 FPS. There's a lot of talk saying that you can't criticize that game for performance and praise Tears of the Kingdom without even mentioning performance. But, it's all about expectation, isn't it? Nobody was under any illusion that Tears of the Kingdom was going to be 60 FPS, were we? It's been released on last-gen hardware compared to Redfall, a brand new game from a, let's be honest here, small selection of Xbox exclusives. The Xbox Series X is all about boasting raw power, but that's not much good if it can't even put it to use, is it? And this is coming from me, I don't even care about 30 versus 60. As long as it's consistent and drops aren't constant, I'm happy either way. I just want to play the game, you know? Tears of the Kingdom's frame rate does drop when in heavily forested areas, as well as a few occasions when using the Ultra Hand, but from what I've experienced, that's it. People saying it's unplayable need to calm the fuck down, man. Yes, I'm sure the next Nintendo console will run it better, but don't be put off getting it on the Switch. It isn't Pokemon Generation 9, this runs really damn well. And the art style once again just looks fabulous. I think the lighting really helps. They did a great job of what they had to work with. There's so much to this game, and I can tell it's going to be absolutely huge. If you're unsure about the higher price tag on this one, I think it's already more than earned its price tag, even if the production values aren't up to the standard you might expect from the current generation. So far, I'm having an amazing time, and hopefully I will continue to, though that wasn't ever in doubt. From the things I've shown and talked about, to the stuff I'm keeping on the down low, I am having a fantastic time with this game.
So one day I'll get back to this for a full review, but I've got a lot of Zelda to get through before that day comes. So for now, thank you very much for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please consider checking out some of my other content. We're looking at Sonic, Mario, Resident Evil, Silent Hill. As you can see, there's no particular theme to this, we're just kind of going with it at the moment. So if there's anything you particularly like me to look at, just leave it in the comments below, and maybe I can do some recommendations. Thank you very much for your time, I'll see you next time.